Boston in 1770 was not a happy place. Imagine your city being occupied by an army, except that army also needs to make rent. So you have British soldiers not just standing around looking intimidating, but also taking your job at the docks for less pay. On the evening of March 5th, tensions boiled over, not with a heroic stand, but with a snowball fight. A crowd gathered around a lone British sentry, who probably just wanted his shift to end. They weren't just throwing snowballs, they were throwing ice chunks, oyster shells, and insults. It was less of a political protest and more of a Tuesday night that got seriously out of hand, which is a recurring theme in human history. Captain Thomas Preston arrives with reinforcements, and suddenly you have 8 very nervous soldiers facing a yelling mob of several hundred. Someone shouts, "Fire!" Someone gets hit with a club, a gun goes off, and chaos ensues. When the smoke clears, 5 civilians are dead. A tragedy, absolutely. But a massacre? That's where the marketing department, led by Paul Revere, steps in. His famous engraving shows a neat line of British soldiers firing on a peaceful, unarmed crowd under the direct order of their captain. There's even a sad little dog to really sell it. This image is maybe the most successful piece of fake news in American history. It's clean, it's evil, and it's a complete work of fiction. Now for the really inconvenient part of the story for the propagandists, the trial. The soldiers were actually arrested and charged with murder, and their defense attorney was none other than John Adams. Yes, that one. A patriot who apparently thought facts were still important, bless his heart. Adams argued that the soldiers were scared for their lives, being attacked by a motley rabble of saucy boys, Negroes and mulattoes, Irish teagues, and outlandish jacktars. His words, not mine. And the Boston jury, composed of actual Bostonians, agreed with him. 6 of the 8 soldiers were acquitted entirely. 2 were convicted of manslaughter and got their thumbs branded. Hardly the outcome you'd expect from a brutal, unprovoked massacre. So, if it wasn't a massacre, why is that the only word we use for it? Because the truth was messy and inconvenient. Chaotic riot ends tragically after provocation doesn't fit on a protest banner. The bloody massacre does. Samuel Adams, John's cousin and a PR genius, understood this. He and the Sons of Liberty needed a simple, powerful story of British evil and colonial victimhood. They took this chaotic, grimy street brawl and polished it into a shining symbol of tyranny. It became the founding myth that helped justify a revolution, proving that sometimes the story you tell is way more important than what actually happened. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more historical insights. Thanks for watching, nerds!